All right, I'm over here chilling on the couch with my left foot in a splint. Because last weekend I broke my ankle. I fractured my fibula and my tibia, complete displacement. I did a mountain bike ride in the local area to where I live in San Jose in Los Gatos, went up the Kennedy Trail or the Kennedy Wall. It's a super steep dirt trail. I like doing it every so often. Climbed all the way up to the top of that thing, descended down onto a trail called Priest Rock or Dog Meat as it's locally known. Survived all of that, no issues. So after making it down off the mountain and getting onto a connector trail that's going to take me home, there's this little small muddy side hit, just a small single track area. I mean, it's not even really official. I think mountain bikers have just made it into a trail over the years of just running repeatedly over this grassy area that's kind of like on a sloped hill. I hit that thing going at speed. I was probably traveling maybe 28, 30 miles an hour going into this thing, and I washed out. Went to put my left foot down, and as soon as I planted, the forward momentum just basically snapped my ankle in half. I see my foot rotate completely all the way around. It was facing backwards. So I got lucky that day. I had a buddy that was cycling in the area, and he just happened to be taking this trail home. He seen me and he was able to help me get up to the road where my family was waiting to pick me up. So anyways, that took place last Saturday. I'm now here on the couch. It's Friday. Today's my surgery day. I'm getting ready to head over to the Silicon Valley Surgery Center in about an hour. My family is out getting coffee. They're getting ready to come back and grab me, and then we're going to make the short commute over to see my specialist and get my bimallear fracture surgery underway. So I'm going to get a plate and a bunch of screws and pins. But yeah, what a hell of a way to break your ankle. I wish I could have like a better story on how I broke my ankle, but to break my ankle on something so minor when I'd already survived, I would say some fairly treacherous descent segments on the route that I was doing. But whatever, I guess that's just kind of like the dangers of mountain biking, right? But yeah, I feel silly that this is how I broke my ankle. Anyhow, got a long road to recovery ahead of me. Probably looking at 2 months off the bike. If I'm lucky, maybe sooner, but from what I have researched, it seems like most people that have broke their tib, it takes them quite a number of months to recover. So this is where I'm going to be hanging out for the next few months here on the couch. I've got a couple weeks off from work, so that's good. I'll be able to keep my foot elevated after surgery, and I've already been working this week, have my foot elevated. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, I'm going to be able to at least get a lot of my little side video editing projects going, so there's going to be a lot of videos to come. I'm already kind of like working on some things because I've got a huge backlog of video footage that I need to edit down and post on the YouTubes. So anyways, yeah. Broken ankle. I'm going to capture the whole journey of everything I'm going through, the recovery process, just in case someone has broken their ankle and stumbles onto this video. I'm going to shut up and get myself mentally prepared for my surgery in a couple hours. All right, here we go. Okay, day one is coming to a close. I had surgery this morning at around 12:30. It is now 10 o'clock at night. The surgery itself went off without a hitch, but post-surgery experience was interesting. Once the drugs from the surgery wore off, later in the evening, like around 5, I pretty much went for a walk on the wild side. I mean, excruciating pain. My level of pain was a 15 out of 10, and there was a bit of a complication at CVS with getting my prescription. I had no idea what was going on with getting my prescription filled at CVS. I seen that the order in the app showed that the doctor had sent over the prescription request, and it was just in a pending state, but it had been in a pending state for hours. I got out of surgery around 3 in the afternoon, so I figured just maybe like an hour or two it'd be ready. And once 5 o'clock hit, it was off to the races. So my brother, being the superhero that he is, went over to CVS and was able to secure getting my prescription filled. Big shout out to my brother for rescuing me. So I got my meds probably around 8:30, and things are starting to feel a little bit better in terms of managing the pain. So now, instead of my pain being a 15 out of 10, it is probably an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. So I'll take it. Anyways, I just hopped up to the 3rd floor of my tri-level condo. Reagan just helped me up, and I'm going to go attempt to lay down, but I know I'm probably not going to sleep tonight. So this is probably going to be a wasted effort, but I'm going to go get on top of the bed and chill out. But also, I should mention that I'm extremely nauseous because I don't do well with Percocet. That's what was prescribed to me. So although the pain level is reaching a manageable state now, I feel like I'm out at sea I am so nauseous. What a day. Day one done. Okay, I survived another day. So this is day 2, or the end of day 2. I have had my foot elevated all day. I've just been downstairs on the couch, hanging out with the family and just chilling out, relaxing. I've got the pain medication schedule going. Things are just a little bit better than yesterday, but yeah, post-op is still extremely painful. That's to be expected. Just taking it one day at a time and hoping that each day I will get a little bit better. Living in a tri-level condo is not the business when I've got to hop up and down flights of steps, but I'm up here in my room. It's 10:30 at night. Just gonna settle down before I go to bed and watch some more TV. That's all I'm doing these days, is watching TV and reading books. Yeah. Anyways, still in disbelief that I broke my ankle. All right, road to recovery continues. All right, day 11. It's Monday. Things are a little bit better, but this has definitely been a rocky ride. My first 3 days post-op were intense. Pain was pretty bad. I could not sleep. As a matter of fact, for the first 5 days, I got no more than 2.5 hours of sleep per night. Night before last, I finally started to get at least 5 hours of sleep, so things are starting to become a bit more comfortable. But I haven't left this couch. First 3 days, I was going upstairs to the bedroom to try to go to bed for the night, and it was a little bit difficult. I am trying to go to sleep legitimately, but it just wasn't happening. And even if I drifted off into sleep, I wouldn't stay asleep for more than 45 minutes before I wake up. And I'm guessing all this stuff is to be expected with post-op procedures, right? The pain is going to wake you up at night. You're not going to sleep very well. And again, my leg is in a cast, so it's been hard to keep blankets on top of that, because any form of pressure sitting down on the top of my toe just kind of like makes the pain flare up. So anyways, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, day 11, it's Monday, and I'm looking forward to this Friday because that's when I'm going to my first post-op appointment with the specialist, and they're going to remove the cast from my foot. Look at the incisions. If there's stitches, I'm guessing maybe the stitches are going to come out. I'll know more on Friday, but I'm looking forward to getting this cast off of my foot and moving into a walking boot. In terms of pain, I'm probably at about a 6 out of 10, 6 or a 7. Sometimes it's gone down to like even a 4, usually when my mind is occupied watching TV and the family's around. I don't feel too much discomfort. Oh, and also the pressure from swelling is seeming to be more manageable. The first like 4 or 5 days, whenever I would get up from wherever I'm laying down at, you could feel all of the swelling starting to immediately fill up in my cast as I'm standing up. So I wouldn't be able to stay up on the crutches for, no more than 10, 20 minutes at a time. 20 minutes only when I'm eating dinner, but if I'm just kind of like hopping around here in the house, between the bathroom, kitchen, whatever, I was on the ball. Like, you had to get what you need to get, do what you need to do, and quickly get off of your feet, because the sensation of having everything rushing down into your foot and all the swelling filling up the cast was not the business. So anyways, things are getting better slowly but surely. 11 days post-op, family is off at school and work, and I am here in my favorite spot, the couch. Boy. So overall, things are okay. Still managing to be creative while being locked down to this couch and in a ridiculous amount of pain. Oh, the Percocets. So I was on Percocet for the first 4 to 5 days. I decided just stop taking them. So there's a couple days where I didn't take them because I don't do well with pain medication, and they were so strong. So now I've got like a good system going where I took one of the Percocets and I cut it up into quarters. And that way, by taking them in quarters, it's keeping the nausea down, and I don't feel like I'm on some boat out at rough sea. The pain pills, the Percocets were, I'm not with it. All right, that's it. Day 11. Friday's the big day, and I've been looking forward to getting this cast off of my foot. Like, this thing cannot come off my foot quick enough. The day has finally arrived where I'm getting this cast cut off my foot. I have been counting down the days every single day for 2 weeks to get to this point right here. Here's Dr. Eli Chin, my specialist. He is removing my cast, and then he's going to take the stitches out, and then we'll review the x-rays and check out where I'm currently at. So excited for this. You have no idea. My doctor did a hell of a job with the stitches too. I didn't have much scarring at all. So when he had sewed me up, everything was looking great. But here are the x-rays. We're just checking out what took place during surgery. You can see my plate and the 2 screws that I've got on the other side. So I'm the bionic man right now, apparently. So that concluded my post-op visit, and it went well.
Here's a plate up here, and now a plate down here.
First of the season. The City's got a lot in December. He said at the time he needs to score more goals. He is to become the complete player. That was a big chance. They've had big chances at the start and the end of this first half, which has been extended by a further couple of minutes here.
Today is the 9th week post-op. I'm happy to say I'm finally able to get on an indoor trainer. I just finished a workout ride, and now I'm just cooling down. What the hell is going on here? So it's been a long way to get to where I am now, and I still got a lot longer to go, but I'm happy to say that things are looking very hopeful. My left ankle still has a bit of inflammation, but feels a lot better than 3 weeks ago. I've only done one other ride, and that was a week ago, and that ride my ankle was feeling a little bit shaky, but today it's feeling a lot stronger. I've been doing core workouts every single day for the past 32 days straight, and now I'm getting ready to start doing more consistent indoor training rides so that I can build up some endurance and also build up some strength in my ankle. Because in about a month and a half, I'm flying out to Oklahoma to do the Mid-South gravel race, and I'm hoping that I can complete the 100-mile route. Otherwise, I'm flying out there just to volunteer, which is totally fine. But what I'm going to do now is go through all of everything that I've experienced in this whole journey of breaking my ankle and everything that I did during my recovery process. Could not believe I broke my ankle on some dumb shit. But here we are, putting ourselves back together, and slowly but surely we'll be back in full form, whatever that was. Over here watching the FA Cup. Saturday, 6 a.m. to watch soccer. Gotta love it. All right, I'm going to walk you through my recovery timeline. The first 2 weeks after surgery is phase 1, which is all about edema control. Basically, managing the swelling. Since my ankle is inside of a cast, icing it directly is pretty tough. So instead, I placed ice bags behind my knee, and this helped to cool the blood flowing down to the ankle. During this phase, my leg stays pretty much elevated 24 hours a day, and I'm completely non-weight bearing, only getting around right now with crutches in this particular phase. Phase 2 covers weeks 3 through 6. This is when the cast comes off. Now, it's worth noting that some people will stay in a cast much longer than 2 weeks, but for athletes or people who need to get back to activity sooner, doctors will sometimes remove the cast earlier to help promote better mobility and range of motion recovery. At this stage, I transitioned into wearing a cam boot. I'm still keeping my leg elevated as much as possible, and all of the movement I'm doing is active motion only. So things like ankle wags, ankle pumps, and small mobility exercises to slowly wake the joint back up. That's all I'm doing. And once the cast came off, I also started wearing the RoboCop leg. Yeah, this is my cam boot that was prescribed to me in week 3 after the cast came off. This was my companion that I would wear mostly outside of the house while I was on crutches. I would wear it for week 3 and week 4 inside of the house. And for the first 5 weeks, I'm completely non-weight bearing again. Even though I would wear this outside, I'm just on crutches with this as a protectionary thing. The cam boot. I should have customized this and painted it some fancy color. So that's phase 1 and phase 2. Oh, and I almost forgot. There's another really important aspect of my recovery process, and that is compression socks. These are a huge component of my recovery process, something that my ortho wanted me to wear starting in week 3 after the cast was cut off. Bought some cheap knee-high compression socks off Amazon, and I would wear them from morning until night. When I get ready to go to bed, I would take them off then. Sometimes I would sleep in them, but I would mostly just take them off. These things are awesome for managing swelling and inflammation. and then providing a little bit of stability. So I probably spent maybe about $9, and I got 2 pairs of these things. And as I started to progress in my recovery journey, I moved from the knee-high compression socks to some that were calf height, and some that are a lot more fashionable than just straight black nylon looking things. So as soon as your cast comes off, if you've broken your ankle, more than likely it's going to be recommended to you to wear compression socks just so that you can manage the swelling. These things work like a charm, especially once I started to return back to cycling on my indoor trainer and outdoors. I still currently wear the compression socks, but these things are crucial. So get yourself a pair of knee-high compression socks if you have broken your ankle. These are all the different compression socks that I've bought in the last 3 or 4 months. These are a lot better than those black, cheapy, knee-high compression socks. These things are all calf height and socks that I can wear while I'm out and about. These are really interesting. These are Fits. And by the way, I am not sponsored by any of these brands that I'm mentioning today. These are just some socks that I really like. They have a really good amount of compression and they look pretty damn cool too. These are kind of like lavender, purplish colored socks. So I'm not too familiar with Fits, but after doing some Google research on different sock brands that offer a suitable level of compression that I'm looking for, these came up in some reviews. I like the way they looked, so I bought a few pairs. I'm actually wearing a pair of them right now. These are even more purple. But anyhow, Bombas offers really good compression socks, and what I like about these Bombas socks is that they are low cut and they are pretty snug on my feet. And if you go on the Bombas website, you can find compression socks that have different levels of compression. So that was really cool. So I like wearing these. These are another pair of Bombas socks that I got. And then MAP, who I give too much money to, but I have a ton of MAP socks that I wear in general. I wear cycling socks pretty much just as my daily wear type socks. MAP socks fit pretty tight on my feet. They are not compression socks, but I don't know, they fit really tight for me, so I tend to wear these as if they're compression socks, or sometimes I'll wear these and then double up, wear another type of sock on top of that. I haven't opened these. This is a problem. I buy a lot of socks that I have not yet gotten around to opening. Courier is another sock brand that I discovered in my research on what brands offer good compression socks. So I was never familiar with this brand before up until I started researching what brands were out there. So Courier offers some pretty cool looking socks. I've got a light lavender pair of these things and they're very comfortable, although the compression is not super compressive. I don't know why I just did that with my hand. These are really good too. I like wearing these. Sometimes I'll wear a pair of MAP socks underneath these things and it feels just right while I'm cycling. Another pair of MAP socks. These are actually my favorite socks in general, but I wear these when I'm riding gravel or road or just walking around. Love the way these things look. They're warm. They're very tight on my feet. They're not compression, but because they're so tight on my feet, they function as compression socks. So I like these a lot. And then I got these Quacks. Been wearing Quack shoes for the last few years now. Quack road shoes. I just started wearing their gravel shoes, but these socks are also pretty good. I wear them for gravel, and I definitely wear them when it's colder out. These are kind of like merino socks, but they're pretty tight on my feet. So I like these. They look pretty damn cool too. So that's Quack. So I've got a lot of different types of socks here. Bombas, Quack, bunch of MAP, and Fits and Courier. So these are all the compression socks that I've been wearing and probably will be wearing for upwards of a year and maybe even beyond. So those that have broken their ankle and are looking for tips and tricks and have stumbled onto this video and wondering why the hell I'm talking about socks, just know that compression socks are going to be your friend. All right, so that was phase 2, and that was all about getting into a full range of motion. Phase 3, this is weeks 7 through 9. This is where I'm going to be focused on strengthening. I'm continuing exercising to restore full range of motion, and I'm weaning myself from my cam boot as much as tolerated in controlled settings. So I'm still kind of like on crutches. I'm also focused on restoring a normal walking gait with crutches. So this is a critical phase where I'm now starting to apply some pressure to my left ankle. And I'm also just going over my isometric exercises and staying consistent with that. So phase 3, all about strengthening and getting myself back towards walking with a normal gait. Okay, so this is phase 4. This is weeks 10 through 12, and this is the functional phase. This is where I'm beginning to completely wean myself away from using the cam boot only as strength permits, keeping consistent with my physical therapy routines and appointments, and then also continuing to do all of my phase 3 dynamic stability exercises. So all of that was for phase 4, and by week 13 I had seen my specialist one last time. He discharged me. He thought everything looked great for me to return back to regular sports progression, and as you can see, I'm kitted up and out on a bike ride. By the time you see this is probably like week 18. I've been on the bike for maybe like a month and a half now. It's March 10th. So yeah, we're back at it. But those are phases 1 through 4 and how I got through my recovery plan. If you've made it to this part of the video, congratulations and thank you for watching, because this is the end. That is my entire 18-week journey in recovering from a broken ankle and all the different things that I experienced. One thing that I did not cover in the video are the things that I ate. I had a pretty well-balanced diet. I ate a ton of protein bowls, a lot of protein smoothies, chicken bowls, steak bowls, tons of leafy greens. I'm a big fan of kale, so I ate a ton of kale. I take vitamins as well, magnesium, calcium, D3, just kind of like the standard vitamins. And just being an active person, I really believe that that helped me recover in the 13 weeks of time that it took to start weight bearing and getting back into my normal activities. And here we are in week 18, outside on my afternoon walk, and I'm feeling really good and grateful. Hopefully all these tips and tricks were helpful. I know the content in this video was a lot longer than my normal cycling activity stuff, but felt like I wanted you all to see a lot of the pain behind the scenes with this broken ankle that I just went through back in November. So again, yeah, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions on how to recover from a broken ankle, God forbid, definitely let me know down in the comments. Thank you.